Welcome to KBM Sports Talks. I'm Kevin, and today we got our Mountain West Conference preview / prediction. Make sure to hit that like button. The goal for today's video is to get to 4 likes. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, join the KBM Sports Talk family, and let's get into the video. So, we're going to do the mountain side of the conference first, which is Wyoming, Air Force, Boise, Utah State, Colorado State, and New Mexico. Those 6 teams are on the mountain side of the Mountain West Conference. So we're going to go from 6th to 1. Who's going to finish? And right now, we're going to see who I have finishing 6th in the Mountain Division, the Mountain West. Well, you guys, it is New Mexico Lobos. They're returning 7 starters on offense, and they're returning 7 starters on defense. And I think that, yes, that's 14 players combined. That's good. But I don't think they have enough talent to compete and have a good year. Yes, they're going to win some games, but not as many as some people think. I think that they have struggled. 4 of the 5 starting linemen from last year are coming back, so that is a big positive for them. And they were ranked 36th in rushing last year nationally, and they were 64th overall in offense. That's amazing, but their defense is where the struggles came. They were 101 ranked for total defense last year, so that's where the struggle comes. And this year they have a decently easy schedule. They don't really play a lot of big-name teams. Their biggest game is at Texas A&M week 2. Then they really don't have anybody bigger. They have Houston Baptist, New Mexico State, and UTEP. Not major games for out-of-conference except for the Texas A&M one. That's about it. So I see them with their final record 4-8 and a 2-6 record in Mountain West. We go to who's going to finish 5th. Well, I believe it will be the Utah State Aggies. I think they will be finishing in 5th place because they're having a whole new revamp on that offense. A new quarterback, new running back, 2 new starting receivers, because one of them's returning. Justin McGriff is returning. 3 out of the 5 linemen are returning, so that's about it that they're getting for returning. Those 5 players, there is one that's going to be on the bench. So there's 5 players right there that are coming back on offense. Everyone else is new. They're going to be new starters. So that is huge right there, you guys, for a team that is going to be restarting, that is trying to win. I don't think they're going to be able to compete like that. And on defense, they only have 6 players returning, and it's all in their secondary. They have 2 cornerbacks returning. They have a strong safety returning. That's about it. And they do have a defensive end. But the best player to look out for Utah State is Shaq Bond. Great player. He is someone that is going to be a big name to be looking for Utah State. But I believe that Utah State will win at UNLV, at New Mexico State, and North Dakota. And they will probably pick up a win or 2 in the Mountain West. I believe they will be finishing with a 4-8 record, just like New Mexico. Just like New Mexico and everything else, they are going to tie New Mexico State, or New Mexico. Now, 4th place, who will be finishing 4th, it will be Colorado State Rams. They have a lot of players coming back. 18 players are coming back, starters, matter of fact, that are coming back. A great thing for them. Keep their experience. They are not a very young team, but they are a pretty decently young team. They do have a not difficult schedule, but it is kind of difficult for a team that is kind of in a little bit of a rebuild. Last year, they went 1-3. This year, I see them improving in their record, but not dramatically. I do think that they will still have another losing year, but I think that they are going in the right path with what they've been doing. They were ranked 113th last year in offense, and that's terrible. And then on defense, they were ranked in the top 50. They were 34th in nationally total defense, and they're 12th in rushing defense. So they have a really good defense, but they just don't have an offense that can compete. And they're returning their starters on defense, and they're turning their starters on offense, so that's a great thing right there. They are getting a new quarterback. Their special teams to really emerge and be better. That is Colorado State's one of their biggest weaknesses is their special teams. And also, a player to look out for is Trey McBride, tight end. He's a big player to look out for Colorado State. But I believe that Colorado State will be finishing with a 4-8 record too. Yes, 4-8 record for the 4, 5, 6. Yes, I think so. Colorado State will finish in 4th place. Now, who I have finishing in 3rd place, you guys, is Wyoming Cowboys. Yes, this is a surprise to some people. Well, I think they will have a 2nd place record with their non-conference, but in their conference, I think they will be finishing in 3rd place in the Mountain Division. They have a really good team. They are a favorite to win the whole Mountain West Conference, but I think they will be finishing in 3rd place, not because of their overall record, because of what they did in the Mountain West. I think that they will be 8-4 on the whole season with a 4-4 record in conference. I think they will win their first 4 games in their conference. In their schedule. They have Montana State at Northern Illinois, Ball State, and then at Connecticut, or UConn, as you can call them. So they have a pretty easy schedule, but they have a little bit of question marks. They do. New quarterbacks, that quarterback situation going on in Wyoming with Sean Chambers and Levi Williams. Those two right now are been battling for that starting quarterback spot. So that's the only question with them right now is that quarterback. But they are going to be an exciting team to look out for and be a big sleeper in the Mountain West to win it all. So they will be finishing 8-4, 4-4 in the Mountain West. Now we go to number 2. Who's going to be finishing in 2nd place? Well, it will be Air Force Falcons. Yes, I just said Air Force will be finishing in 2nd place in the Mountain West. They were the number 1 ranked passing offense last year in the whole nation, and they are returning their star quarterback, Hazek Daniels. Wow. Returning him. They only returned 3 players on offense, so the whole new offensive line, whole new receiving core. Big right there. But they're returning 7 players out of that great defense. You guys, 6th in the country last year in overall defense, and they are returning 7 of those players. Big thing for them. And I think this year they're going to have a really good year. They have a pretty nice schedule. Not terribly hard, but it's a good schedule. I do think they will lose to FAU. Then they will lose to at Boise State, at Nevada, and Army. And I think they will lose to Wyoming. That's who I think they're going to be losing to. So that is 5 losses right there. They will be 7-5. And yes, I know Wyoming, I said, was be finishing 8-4. But in the conference, Wyoming is 4-4. And then Air Force will be 5-3. So by conference rank, Air Force will be higher. Now we go to who will be winning the mountain side of the Mountain West Conference. And it will be Bleed Blue, Boise State, Broncos, Bluefield, and they will be winning it. Not pretty easily, though. I think they will have a little bit of a challenge on the other side. Not this side. The other side, yes. This side, not so much, but I think they will have some losses. I think they will lose to Oklahoma State, and I think they will lose to Nevada. And I do think that there is some trap games for Boise State. The Wyoming one, November 13th, Wyoming. That is going to be a major trap game. And November 6th against Fresno State at Fresno State. That is going to be two big trap games back to back. So that's something to look out for. But I do think they will win both of those games. And I think that they will finish their record of 10-2 and 7-1 in the Mountain West. Boise State, I love that they're returning their quarterback. I think Batchmere, I love that they're returning him. Returning 4 of those offensive linemen, a big thing right there. 8 players on defense, 8 players on offense, 16 players in total. Great for them. I think they're going to have a really good year and finish first in the Mountain West Mountain division. So now if we go to the other side of the Mountain West division, which is the West division, and just like we did on the other side, this will be the 6-1, and who I have finishing in 6th place on the West side is UNLV, the Rebels. Will be having another really bad year. They went 0-6 last year. Terrible. They didn't even play good. They didn't score over 30 one game. They only scored one game that had more, or they had 2 games that was over 20 points. I mean, it's not looking good for them. As a program, maybe they can bounce back soon, but it's not looking like it. They have 6 players returning on offense. They are getting a new quarterback, Justin Rogers, new quarterback right there, so maybe he could help them. But then we also have 10 players returning on defense out of the 11, so that is a major thing right there. Good for UNLV for returning 10 players on that defense. Yes, they were the 119th ranked defense last year nationally, but they were 58th overall in passing defense. So that is good right there to look at. And they're returning all of their secondary. But they will be finishing 2-10 in their season, 1-7 in the Mountain West. They have a pretty difficult schedule. They have Eastern Washington, a hard FCS school. And then they go at Arizona State, and then they play Iowa State. And they have at Fresno State after that, at UTSA. It's a hard schedule to start off the bat with. Feel bad for them, but they're going to be finishing 2-10, 1-7 in the Mountain West. Now we go to who will be finishing 5th in the west side of the Mountain West. Well, it will be the Aztecs of San Diego State. Yes, this is a surprise to some people. Some people have them finishing 4th or 3rd even. But I have them finishing in 5th place. But they have not a winning record this year, but they have a pretty decent record. I believe that they will be finishing 5-7 overall. They do have a pretty easy schedule for out of conference, but they do have Utah. That is a very hard game. But then they have at Arizona. Arizona isn't a great team this year, just like they haven't been last year. So that's a pretty easy game. San Diego State should win that game. And they also start the season off with New Mexico State, easy. Then they have Towson. Towson is always a good FCS team, but I don't think that they're going to challenge San Diego State. So I think San Diego State will be finishing 5-7. They will struggle with the Mountain West Conference. That is where they'll have to pick up most of their losses. And I think they will be finishing 5th overall. Finishing in 4th place, we have the Rainbow Warriors, Hawaii. And this is a surprise to most people. Most people have them finishing in 5th or in 6th. Well, no, I have them finishing in 4th place because of they returning their great quarterback that had a really good year last year, Chavon Cordeiro. Great quarterback right there. Can't wait to see him go into his sophomore year. He's going to have another great year. Last year they went 5-4, 4-4 in the Mountain West, and I think that they are going to improve on that record by 1 win with the 6-6 record, you guys. I think they have a great team. They returned 8 players on offense, and they are returning 10 players on defense. That's 18 players, you guys, out of 22 players they are returning, and they're all starters. They were really ranked 76th overall, you guys, in total offense last year. But that is not where they were looked at. They were looked at on that defense. They were 68th overall on that in defense. They were 21st overall for passing defense, but they were 105th overall, you guys, for rushing. So that is where they're going to have to fix their rushing defense. But their passing defense is top 25 in the country. So that's something to look out for. They will be finishing 6-6. They will make a bowl game this year again. 3rd place, you guys, I have Fresno State, the Bulldogs, finishing in 3rd in the west side of the Mountain West. And they will finish in 3rd because of their quarterback situation. Jack Hayner is going to have another great year. Last year he had 14 TDs, over 2,000 yards, and only 5 interceptions. He is going to have another great year. They're also returning 3 of their O-linemen. They are getting 2 new guards. But that is okay because they have returned their 2 tackles and their centers returning, and their whole receiving core is returned. They have 9 players also returning on defense too, you guys. The 85th ranked defense in the nation. 10 or 9 of those players are coming back. So that is a big thing right there. Yes, 85th is kind of low, but it is good for them that they are at least returning so they can get better. And now they have the 17th overall offense last year, 5th in passing, and 36th in scoring, you guys. So they have 9 of those players returning on that offense. That is just an amazing thing right there. I believe they will be finishing 7-5, you guys, and they will finish 3rd in the Mountain West division. So we are down to our top 2, you guys. Who do you guys have finishing in your top 2 in the Mountain West side of the conference? Well, I have the Wolfpack of Nevada. Nevada will be finishing in 2nd place because I just think that this is the challenge. You have 3 teams that are going to be up there. You can even say 4, including Wyoming. Wyoming, Boise State, San Jose State, and Nevada are all going to be battling for their for number 1. But it's the cool thing is one side is Boise and Wyoming are on the mountain side. In the West is San Jose State and Nevada battling it out. Those 4 teams are going to be battling out on both sides. And I cannot wait to see that because that's going to be a great battle. And maybe even Air Force can try to battle for the Mountain 1 too. It will be some amazing sight to see. But I do have Nevada finishing in 2nd place on this side. Because, you guys, I just think that they may run into some challenges out of their conference. I think that's where they will lose most of their games. Lose to Cali, Kansas State, and San Jose State, you guys. So that means they will beat Boise State. Like I said earlier, I think they will be able to beat Boise State, but they cannot beat San Jose State, I don't think. So that's a major thing right there, and that is an awesome thing for Nevada to at least beat Boise State. And they will finish in 2nd place. They will get a pretty decent bowl game, you guys, and 2nd place in the Mountain West. Now, we go to winning. Who's going to be winning the west side of the Mountain West Conference? Well, you guys, it will be the back-to-back years. San Jose State, 10-2 record, 7-1. They will be winning the Mountain West division. Wow, you guys. Back-to-back. They will lose to USC. I do think they will. So it's a big loss right there. And I do think they will pick up a loss, you guys, to Wyoming or a Fresno State. I think that's a team that they will lose to, one of those teams in their conference. That's why I say they're going to have one. There's always a trap game in the Mountain West. That team will look like they're going to win every game, but they won't. They'll lose one game and then go 7-1 in the division. Well, that's what I think is going to happen with them. They have returning 9 of those players on offense. They only lose 2 wide receivers. They're returning Nick Starkel, the amazing quarterback that has come there and helped a lot with over 2,000 yards, 17 TDs last year, you guys. And I think they are on a revenge tour because of what happened to them in that bowl game. They had 13 points they only scored, and they let up 34. They got destroyed in that game against Ball State. So I think they're on a revenge tour, and I cannot wait to see what they do with this schedule because they got USC at USC this year, and I think that's going to be an amazing thing to see how good they are. And I cannot wait for that game. I think they will lose that game. So now we see with that defense, the number 26th overall defense in the country, 11 of those players are returning. 11 of 11, you guys. Yes, you heard that right. 11 players are returning for San Jose State. A great thing for them. And I think this team's going to be really good this year. And they will be going up against Boise State in the Mountain West Division Conference, or Mountain West Conference Championship. They will be playing Boise State. And I believe that you will get another San Jose State Mountain West Conference Championship. Will go back to San Jose State. Back-to-back years. Think they will knock off Boise State again. Yes, I said it again. Cannot wait for this season for Mountain West to happen. It's a great division. All the FBS divisions are great. But I think that this is going to be a really good season. And I believe that San Jose State will knock off Boise State in the Mountain West Conference Championship. Hit that like button. The goal is the 4 likes, you guys. Subscribe, join the KBN Sports Talk family. And until next time, see ya.